From time to time, most of us need a new stimulus, fresh ideas, or a new perspective to spark creativity or innovation, or simply to clear the mind to develop a new strategic vision. At Mind Resources, we specialise in brain food, learning resources that provide a stimulus to creativity, innovation, skill enhancement, and behavioural change. Thank you for having chosen one of our programs. I hope you enjoy it.
Suppose you wonder what we're doing here and why I'm wearing this. Well, no, it's not casual dress day. I'm wearing it because viruses are everywhere. Now, I'm not talking about just any virus. Oh, sure, colds and flu can take a heavy toll on our workplaces. Lost work days, lost productivity. But there's another infection that's growing to epidemic proportions in the workplace. Call it the attitude virus. Now, it may not be quite a level 4 biohazard, but it can still do an awful lot of damage to a team's productivity in a very short period of time. There are ways to vaccinate yourself and your team from its effects, but first we'll need to do a thorough diagnosis, which isn't easy, since this virus can affect different people in very different ways. Now, take the steamer, for instance. This team member responds to the virus by letting everything get to them. Big time.
What do you know? Aisle 7 is stacked with deliveries again.
It's okay, Alan. I'll rearrange the picking routes. Just let me get these orders straight.
And another thing. The clutch on my forklift is slipping again. Now, how am I supposed to do my job with a slipping clutch, huh? I'm asking.
Here's that industry analysis report you asked for. I worked most of the week on it.
And only 16 pages. I must say I was expecting a more lengthy review.
There's the perfectionist. It's important to strive for quality and accuracy at all times, but the perfectionist wields quality like a weapon.
So you feel that this is ready for review in its current form?
What the hell's this?
Well, it's official. Our big reorganization finally went through.
Reorganization listened to you. Like we're supposed to take this stuff serious.
Hey, check it out. It's for real. We're forming into self-managed teams. I'm Eagle Team now. Looks like we both are.
Eagle Team, give me a break. First it was quality circles, then it was TQM, and now it's self-managed teams.
Next is the resistance. Resistance to change is normal, but when it is constant and focused upon any change in work procedures, then it can seriously impact performance and productivity.
What we're trying to do is find a way to meet customers' needs.
But I'll stick to doing things the old way. It's worked for me so far.
Audrey, could you do me a favor? I need this inter-office delivery dropped off ASAP.
Gee, Connie, that's not really in my job description now, is it?
Then there's the not my jobber. In this case, the virus attacks the victim's vision, hindering their ability to see beyond their own task assignments.
Audrey, exactly what is your job description as you see it?
Well, Connie, if I'm not mistaken, I was hired to deal with anything clerical, and so far as it relates directly to customer service, and or specifically departmental functions.
Hey, Earl, have you heard? Guess who's being downsourced?
Downsourced?
Yeah, downsized plus outsourced equals downsourced. Marcia from marketing, gone.
And there's the rumor monger. In any organization, a little gossip is a fact of life, but the rumor monger's stream of mostly baseless rumors is more or less constant, and constantly negative.
I'll tell you something else I heard. Jason told the supervisor off, then he actually gets a raise.
No.
Yes.
You're kidding.
Thanks.
Elise,
Conklin's is on the line. They say they never received the artwork I gave you. You sent it overnight like I asked, right?
Did you? No, I sent a regular mail. I didn't think it was that big a deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal, as a matter of fact.
Next, there's the uncommitted,
Whatever.
who respond by taking their job, well, less than seriously. This attitude drains the victim's enthusiasm and commitment.
Elise, they've asked me to send someone to take notes at the noon planning session. I would like you to go and...
I wish I could, but I've got a nail appointment today, and oops, 10 minutes. I have to run.
These new hires are all alike, and senior staff is just as bad.
And talk about contagion. Some attitudes can even infect an entire team, like the pessimist, who are either waiting for the sky to fall or working to actively bring it down themselves.
You know, just between you and me, I wonder, what's the point, you know?
It's clear the attitude virus is one bad bug. Organizations, teams, and individuals lose incalculable productivity each year because of negative attitudes, especially with the challenges of changing technologies and shifting organizational priorities. A healthy attitude makes all the difference in the world. It's closely related to our motivation, our work enjoyment, and productivity. So, how do we start to immunize before an attitude infection turns into a full-fledged epidemic? Well, a good place to start is to simply recognize that there is an attitude problem in the first place.
Can you believe him? So he says he's going to keep doing it the old way. Lots of luck, Jerry. He is such a dinosaur or something. I mean, the sad thing is this system will really work if you'd only give it half a chance. Oh, hey, Jerry. I have to make a phone call. I'll see you after lunch.
Personal acknowledgement of our own attitude problems is always the first line of defense in fighting infection. That means taking responsibility for your own attitude and its impact upon your own productivity.
Maybe the new system's not the problem. Maybe it's me.
Wouldn't you know it? I just switched forklifts with Ken here. Oh no, his clutch is slipping too.
It was working this morning.
In some cases, it may fall to you as a fellow team member to take on the responsibility of helping a teammate diagnose an attitude problem.
Ken's clutch isn't the only thing that's slipping around here.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's your attitude, Alan. You've always been gruff. But for the past month or so, you've been a non-stop pain in the neck.
That's just me. Nobody takes it seriously.
I do. And Ken does, and so do the others. Alan, nobody wants to work your shift anymore.
Okay, so what am I supposed to do? Go get a personality transplant or something?
Your personality's fine. It's how you're acting that's the problem.
When discussing attitude, it's important not to focus on personality, which is difficult to change. Rather, focus upon how the team member's behavior may have a negative impact upon relationships.
I get my job done, don't I?
Look, I don't know about Ken and the others, but when you blow up around me like you do, it makes me feel like you're blaming me.
No way.
Yeah, that's the way it feels, Alan.
As a team leader or supervisor, it may be your job to intervene with a team member. If so, it's important to show the team member how their behavior directly impacts team productivity and goals.
Looks like you made a pretty good start here. I was just finishing up that report I asked for.
I was wondering why you were at my desk.
I was wondering why you weren't. Lunch is over at 1, Elise.
Being 12 minutes late isn't a capital offense.
You're right, it isn't. But it is part of a pattern that I've noticed.
Whatever.
No, Elise, not whatever. I'm talking about specific issues. Tardiness, miscommunication with coworkers, even some rudeness to customers. Now, frankly, your attitude to your work seems to be that whatever it is, it's beneath you.
Okay, well, show me your list. What do I have to fix?
I appreciate your willingness to change, but it isn't about fixing anything. Right now, I'd just like you to acknowledge that there's been a breakdown in team communication and that you have a part in that.
Whatever. I mean, I hear what you're saying.
Good. That's a start.
So, why is taking responsibility for our actions so important? Well, when we only react to a situation, we're locked into either-or thinking. We lose our creativity and our sense of humor. On the other hand, when we take responsibility, we're choosing to respond, and we're open to a much wider selection of options. See the difference? So how can we take responsibility when so much of what happens to us is out of our control? Well, look at it this way. If you're stuck in traffic, you really want to get home to a nice hot pasta primavera, you can scream and honk your horn, or you can listen to some music or plan your work schedule for the next day. Either way, you're still stuck in traffic, and that primavera is still cold. See, in our complicated work lives, there are many times when we simply don't have control over how things come out. But we can choose how we respond.
Yeah, how many times do I have to say this? Is everybody hard of hearing? You just don't block my aisles with orders before the 1 p.m. shift. That's it, plain and simple.
Hey. Next, you need to honestly acknowledge any underlying causes for an unproductive attitude, in you or in others.
Don't say anything. I'm just having a bad day.
You sure are. What's going on?
Too much is going on. My sister and her 2 kids came to visit a month ago. They haven't left. The TV's always blaring. They're eating us out of house and home. They really seem to like it here.
Whatever the underlying causes turn out to be, allow the team member to freely air them. Then, together, you can both start to address them.
I don't need all this craziness.
So you've talked to her about it, right?
I don't want to be the bad guy, but she's my kid's sister.
Often, the underlying cause turns out to be our own unresolved anger about a stressful situation. Denying what we feel over time can make us highly vulnerable to the attitude virus, not to mention some other very real illnesses related to stress. Some studies report that more than 50% of common medical problems originate in people dealing ineffectively with anger. The attitude virus can actually make you physically sick. So, it's critical to acknowledge our feelings. Then it's time to move on. And it's not just about feelings. All the skills and strategies for immunizing against the virus won't do much good if your personal goals don't mesh with the goals of the team.
So the way I see your role here, Elise, is that you're part of a resource team of professional specialists, each performing different, though equally important functions.
You say equally important, but it really doesn't feel that way.
Okay, that's fair. Tell me, how does it feel?
Well, when I first started here, I was hoping to, grow into something.
When a problem arises out of a conflict between personal and team goals, then you need to help the team member clarify their own values and how they relate to team goals.
It is important. It does matter because it's part of our team's basic functioning. And I might add, it is what you were hired for. Now, as for growth potential, you're not wrong to want that for yourself. And I plan on giving you more responsibilities as you show yourself capable. Which is why I asked you to take notes in that planning session.
The one I skipped.
Yeah.
I just thought that it would be more
bureaucratic paperwork. Some of it, yes. But that goes along with those new responsibilities that we were talking about.
So the good thing is that we get to work in a core group, and we have clear lines of communication.
Oh, look.
Well, I'll be. Look who's here. Jerry, I didn't expect to see you here.
Yeah, well, I wasn't busy, so what the heck?
Well, you're just in time. I was just explaining to Lena and Carl how the new system works.
Yeah, well, as I understand it, well, this new team-based decision-making will allow us all more autonomy.
The next step is to replace old ineffective reactions with a new response, one that is more adaptive and appropriate to the situation.
I'm still not comfortable with all this, I'll admit it, but there's one thing I know. It's no time to be a dinosaur. It's time to be, well, an eagle.
Okay, everybody, if I can get your attention, we're about to start the session.
The point is, when you put out that negativity of yours, Harris, it does more than give you that familiar, soulful look that we all know so well. It affects our entire team.
When coaching another team member with an attitude problem, try to help them understand the importance of modifying their negative response.
And when you react like that, don't you see that it affects the way that people react to you? You know, it becomes a kind of a cycle, doesn't it?
I guess so. I never really thought about it.
Take your relationship with Elise, for example.
Nothing works with these new hires. They just don't.
I'm not
Then encourage the team member to practice employing their new response in a judgment-free environment.
I want you to try something for me. Pretend that Elise does care. How would you respond differently to her? Just give it a try.
Okay. Elise, I know you're busy, but I would really appreciate it if you could help me out with this reformatting.
I'll clear my desk. I'll start now.
At first, such a new response may seem forced, but with repetition and positive results, the new behaviors will take root and grow.
That would be fine. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Right. Thanks a lot, Alan. I really appreciate it.
Well, it's no problem, Ken. Just let me know when you get the paperwork. I'll jump on it.
Okay, great.
So, Alan, I guess things are better on the home front, huh?
Oh, yeah. After we talked the other day, I called a family meeting. Now, if my sister can't find a place to live by the end of the month, she's going to move in with her brother for a while. Now at least there's light at the end of the tunnel.
I think you're doing the right thing.
To avoid an attitude relapse, address any situations that may cause stress. Then monitor them so they don't reoccur.
You know, I guess when stuff starts bugging me, I just need to deal with it, or I end up taking it out on you and Ken and everybody else around here.
I think we'll all appreciate it, Alan.
Hey, Alan, it's line 2 for you. It's your sister.
Hey, sis, what's up?
You've really made significant improvement, Elise. You should really be pleased.
And finally,
I
be
know it
sure
hasn't
to
been
monitor
easy.
vital signs with the team member by following up. The value of positive reinforcement for attitude improvement cannot be overestimated.
Hey, guys, we got a real problem here.
Hey, what is it, Harris?
It's a new billing update. They want a whole round of cold calling, and they want it done by today.
Well, it could be worse. It's just not 5 o'clock on Friday afternoon.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, can you give me a hand with something?
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
Like a bad attitude, good attitudes are also contagious. By modeling the behavior we'd like to see in others, we're making a positive impact on ourselves and the team.
Sure.
The attitude virus can strike anywhere. And no matter how stylish it may be, we can't all walk around in these babies all day long. Now, you're not a psychologist, so if the cause of the attitude infection is serious, family problems or substance abuse, for example, the team member should be directed toward professional counseling. As with any health issue, the key is prevention. The best way to deal with a chronic infection is, well, don't let it get chronic in the first place. Regularly check yourself and other team members for any telltale signs of an oncoming infection. If the virus is detected, then you'll know what to do. First, take responsibility for your own attitude and its impact upon your work.
Maybe the new system's not the problem. Maybe it's me.
Also, take responsibility for helping teammates diagnose their own attitude problems.
It's your attitude, Alan.
If you're a team leader,
Show the team member how their behavior impacts team goals.
Right now, I'd just like you to acknowledge that there's been a breakdown in team communication and that you have a part of that.
Next, honestly acknowledge any underlying causes for an unproductive attitude.
My sister and her 2 kids came to visit a month ago. They haven't left.
Help team members clarify their own values and how they relate to team goals.
Now, as for growth potential, you're not wrong to want that for yourself.
Replace your old, ineffective attitude reactions with your new, more adaptive response.
It's time to be, well, an eagle.
Address situations that may cause stress to avoid an attitude relapse.
I guess when stuff starts bugging me, I just need to deal with it, or I end up taking it out on you and Ken and everybody else around here.
And finally, be sure to monitor vital signs, following up with the team member with positive reinforcement.
I know it hasn't been easy, but you've really been hanging in there.
Thanks.
When the virus strikes, all of us hold the power to immunize ourselves against infection, making our working lives more rewarding, more productive, and, well, virus-free.
Thanks. Elise? Elise, Conklin's is on the line. They say they never received the artwork I gave you. You sent it overnight like I asked, right?
Did you? No, I sent a regular mail. I didn't think it was that big a deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal, as a matter of fact.
Whatever. I've got a nail appointment today, and oops, 10 minutes. I have to run.
These new hires are all alike, and senior staff is just as bad. They never do any training, and then they expect us to get the job done.
Lunch is over at 1, Elise.
Being 12 minutes late isn't a capital offense.
So the way I see your role here, Elise, is that you're part of a resource team of professional specialists, each performing different, though equally important functions.
You say equally important, but it really doesn't feel that way.
Okay, that's fair. Tell me, how does it feel?
Well, when I first started here, I was hoping to, grow into something.
take your relationship with Elise, for example.
Nothing works with these new hires. They just don't.
And another thing, the clutch on my forklift is slipping again. Now, how am I supposed to do my job with a slipping clutch, huh? I'm asking you. Wouldn't you know it? I just switched forklifts with Ken here. Oh no, his clutch is slipping too.
It was working this morning.
You just don't block my aisles with orders before the 1 p.m. shift. That's it, plain and simple.
Okay.
Don't say anything. I'm just having a bad day. After we talked the other day, I called a family meeting. Now, if my sister can't find a place to live by the end of the month, she's going to move in with her brother for a while. Now at least there's light at the end of the tunnel.